You are watching News Mongolia on MNB World. I'm Jugdir Gambold. And for our top stories, updates from a regular cabinet meeting. Merit project concludes after a 7-year journey with a closing ceremony. A meeting took place between Prime Minister Oyun-Ildin and Ambassador MP Singh of the Republic of India to Mongolia. For the news, stay with us. On November 22nd, the regular cabinet meeting addressed the establishment of a special court for corruption and abuse of power cases. Simultaneously, the cabinet approved a number of projects for implementation by the State Procurement Agency.
After discussing the revised drought law on the establishment of courts, the cabinet resolved to submit it to the Parliament of Mongolia for further consideration. The drought law aims to establish productive and efficient primary and appellate courts to ensure the rights to access courts and to enhance the quality and accessibility of court services for citizens by modifying the jurisdiction, location, and organization of courts without changing the fundamental structure of the judicial hierarchy in accordance with the amendments made to the Constitution of Mongolia. The drought law reflects the establishment of a special court for cases of corruption and abuse of power and the court for family-related cases in Ulaanbaatar. The cabinet also approved the lists of projects and measures to be implemented by the State Procurement Agency, and which rights will be transferred to the capital city and provinces, and goods and services to be purchased under a general contract. The general budget governors were tasked with submitting the technical description, feasibility study, blueprints, and other necessary documents of each project to the State Procurement Agency, the Governor's Office of Ulaanbaatar City or provinces by December 1, 2023. They were also assigned to conduct procurements promptly, adhering to laws and regulations and principles to avoid conflict of interest or corruption. According to the regular meeting, in 2024, 692 new projects and measures will be financed from the state budget.
Enhancing resource management through institutional transformation, a truly life-changing project implemented in Mongolia with funding from the Government of Canada, held its closing ceremony for Thursday, November 23rd. The closing ceremony was attended by the Ambassador of Canada to Mongolia, Sandra Shufani, Deputy Chief of the Cabinet Secretariat, Bim Sorung, Merit Project Director Jennifer Adams, as well as beneficiaries and partners of the project.
The Merit project, spanning 7 years from 2016 to 2023 and funded by the Government of Canada, stands as a beacon of transformative change in Mongolia's natural resource management landscape.
The Merit project is funded by the Government of Canada and is implemented by a Canadian NGO, Catalyst Plus. And over the last 8 years, the Merit project brought 286 Canadian advisors who worked with our local partners, which were the Ministry of Mining and Heavy Industry and the ministries and agencies at the central level who were working in the extractive sector, and then in 4 of the local provinces, in Sukbatar, in Tuv, Dangobi.
So Canada has been supporting the Merit project for 8 years now. We provided about $18.5 million, Canadian dollars. The Merit project has multiple components. The good governance part of it is that they work with multiple stakeholders that are involved in managing natural resources. So it could be national government, local government, the communities themselves, local leaders. It could be businesses, all the people that need to be involved in managing natural resources. This project is it's complementary to all the other projects that we are funding in Mongolia. The other project that it has just finished recently, that also worked with the civil service, was a collaboration with UNDP and a collaboration with the Ministry of Civil Service. that also supported the capacity of multiple departments to, again, train the civil service, give them better capacity to do their jobs, to manage their services back to the people, and to develop policies. So that's really the main projects that focused on good governance.
Throughout its duration, Merit has achieved commendable outcomes, including the robust enhancement of public institutions' capacity engaged in natural resource management. The project has fostered strong collaboration among public institutions, civil society organizations, and local communities, fostering a holistic approach to sustainable resource sector practices. A key focus of the Merit project has been empowering communities to actively participate in and reap the benefits of local development initiatives. The project is also dedicated to mainstreaming and promoting gender equality within the resource sector, contributing to a more inclusive and equitable environment.
The Merit project was implemented in Dondra province over an 8-year period, starting from 2016. Our province gained many positive outcomes from being part of this project, like enhancing good governance. Several training sessions and workshops were organized as part of the Merit project, including how to incorporate gender equality ideas in the developing stage of the state policies and economic development plans. I want to highlight the progress made in the mining sector, such as drafting the tripartite contract between government, citizens, and mining companies. International consultants provided us with the necessary advice and helped us the draft documents. Thanks to the project, we have further developed the closing management plan for Korvan-Sakhan Somos silver deposits. As Mongolia is a mining country, such a mining deposit closing management plan a good practice that can be adopted in other regions and implemented in the long run.
Over the last 7 years, the Merit project collaborated with the Cabinet Secretariat, the Ministry of Mining and Heavy Industry, the Ministry of Nature, Environment and Tourism, the National Academy of Governance, and other state agencies. During the last 7 years, 23,000 civil servants attended capabilities and development building training sessions hosted by 286 technical advisors and 214 consultants from Canada. Out of total of 489 sessions, 268 were conducted in rural areas and 71 nationwide sessions and seminars were organized.
Please take a look at current affairs of Mongolia.
The Prime Minister of Mongolia, Oyurten, received Ambassador Singh of the Republic of India to Mongolia on the occasion of the conclusion of his term as ambassador and his return home. The Mongolian government emphasized its deep appreciation for Ambassador Singh's significant contributions to further expanding the strategic partnership between India and Mongolia. Notably, Prime Minister Oyurten highlighted the crucial role of the Cybersecurity Center, established with assistance from India, in enhancing Mongolia's information technology and cybersecurity capabilities. Prime Minister Oyurten expressed his gratitude for India's support and cooperation in the intensive implementation of the oil refinery construction project. This project is crucial for strengthening Mongolia's energy independence and ensuring its security. Additionally, he sincerely thanked Ambassador Singh for his substantial contribution in swiftly overcoming the challenges posed by the COVID-19 pandemic. Ambassador Singh expressed his satisfaction in cooperating to expand collaboration across various sectors, including security, defense, mining, e-communications, education, culture, and humanitarian efforts. He assured Mongolia that he would continue to pay careful attention to the timely completion of the oil refinery project within the planned period.
Please take a look at currency exchange rates provided by the Mongol Bank. Now here comes foreign news partnered with international news agencies. Israel's Prime Minister Netanyahu said on Thursday that he will pursue the destruction of Hamas in a meeting with UK Foreign Secretary David Cameron. The former UK Prime Minister made the trip to Jerusalem after the announcement of a temporary ceasefire between Israel and Hamas.
And we stand with the people of Israel in sympathy for what you have gone through. I think that was important. But today, obviously, it's important we talk about this potential humanitarian pause. I think it's an opportunity to crucially get hostages out and to get aid into Gaza. There's never an excuse for this sort of hostage taking. All the hostages should be released. But I hope everyone who's responsible and behind this agreement can make it happen to bring relief to those families, including, of course, there are British nationals who've been taken hostage. And so let's hope that can be delivered. But thank you for the time. There's lots of things to talk about. It's very good to see you again.
Thank you. Thank you, David, for coming here and standing with Israel. We hope to get our hostages out. It's not without its challenges, but we hope to get this first tranche out, and then we're committed to getting everyone out. But we'll continue with our war aims, namely to eradicate Hamas, because Hamas has already promised that they will do this again and again and again. They're a genocidal terrorist cult. There's no hope for peace between Israel and the Palestinians, between Israel and the Arab states, if we don't eradicate this murderous movement that threatens the future of all of us. I think it's a larger battle of civilization against barbarism, the kind of savagery that you saw on your visit. It's the worst savagery perpetrated on Jews since the Holocaust. And just as the world united to vanquish the Nazis or vanquish Al-Qaeda after 9/11, or vanquish ISIS, we have to unite to vanquish Hamas. Israel sustained proportionately 29 11s. 29 11s. It's as though 50,000 Americans were slaughtered in a single day, and 10,000 were held hostage, including a 9-month-old baby. He can't walk, he can't talk, he's a hostage. I mean, what kind of people do this? And the answer is, these are not people, these are monsters. These monsters have to go, they'll go, we'll pursue the battle until that goal is achieved. And we give a different future for Gaza and for us. Thank you.
The 4-day ceasefire was supposed to take effect on Thursday, but has been pushed back a day. The war erupted when several thousand Hamas militants stormed into southern Israel, killing at least 1,200 people, mostly civilians, and taking scores of hostages, including babies, women, and older adults, as well as Israeli soldiers. Weeks of Israeli airstrikes in Gaza, followed by a ground invasion, have killed more than 13,000 Palestinians, according to the Health Ministry in the Hamas-run territory. Cameron's visit follows a meeting this week with counterparts from Arab and Islamic countries in London to discuss the Middle East crisis. Cameron returned to high office as Foreign Secretary in a surprise appointment earlier this month.
A party of anti-Islam populists, Geert Wilders, won a huge general election victory in the Netherlands, according to a nearly complete vote count early Thursday that showed a stunning lurch to the far right for a nation once famed as the beacon of tolerance.
Speaking to fellow PPV Freedom Party members in The Hague on Thursday, Wilders credited his victory to good ideas and good people. The result will send shockwaves through Europe, where far-right ideology is on the rise, and puts Wilders in line to lead talks to form the next governing coalition and possibly become the first far-right Prime Minister of the Netherlands. With nearly all votes counted, Wilders' party was forecast to win 37 seats in the 150-seat lower house of parliament, 2 more than predicted by an exit poll when voting finished Wednesday night, and more than double the 17 the party secured in the last election. Wilders got a standing ovation when he met his lawmakers at the Parliament building Thursday morning. Other political parties were holding separate meetings to discuss the election's outcome before what is likely to be an arduous process of forming a new governing coalition begins Friday. Wilders' election program included calls for a referendum on the Netherlands leaving the European Union, a total halt to accepting asylum seekers and migrant pushbacks at Dutch borders. It also advocates the de-Islamization of the Netherlands. He says he wants no mosques or Islamic schools in the country, although he has been milder about Islam during this election campaign than in the past.
A convoy of international humanitarian aid trucks waited at El Arish on Thursday to enter the Gaza Strip from Egypt in anticipation of an upcoming temporary truce between Israel and Hamas. The truce, confirmed by Qatari officials after a one-day delay, is set to last for 4 days, providing a glimpse of relief for the 2.3 million Palestinians in Gaza affected by weeks of Israeli bombardment.
The trucks carrying essential supplies, including medical aid and ambulances, were parked, awaiting approval to proceed toward the Rafah crossing with Gaza. The delayed ceasefire is expected to facilitate the release of hostages held by militants and Palestinians imprisoned by Israel. The diplomatic breakthrough brings hope to families in Israel concerned about loved ones taken captive during the conflict triggered by Hamas attack on October 7th.
We have launched 326 trucks full of food, nutrition for children, shelter, including tents and personal items, medications and medical supplies, and 20 ambulances. All of those will go to Gaza.
Initially scheduled for Thursday morning, the ceasefire faced a delay announced by Israel's national security advisor without a specified reason. Qatari Foreign Ministry spokesman Mahed Al-Ansari later confirmed that the truce would commence at 7 a.m. local time on Friday.
Our biggest challenge is that those trucks need to go through Rafah corridor. The challenge that the number of trucks going are very limited. We hope through actually this visit and with the help of our friends and colleagues from Egypt and the international community to see more pressure to allow more trucks. Martin Griffiths has already mentioned that we need 400 trucks a day, and I say the same. We need to have 400 trucks pass through Rafah corridor a day.
In response to the humanitarian crisis, the World Health Organization's regional director for the Eastern Mediterranean, Dr. Ahmed Al-Manhari, reported the spread of diseases among displaced individuals, including pneumonia, diarrhea, intestinal infections, and chickenpox. Saudi Arabia's King Salman Center for Relief and Humanitarian Works prepared 326 trucks with food, shelter, medical supplies, and 20 ambulances destined for Gaza.
Please take a look at weather forecast for the world's major cities. Well, that's all for today. Thank you for staying tuned. We'll see you next time with more news and updates. Have a good day.